Welcome back to Idaho Today. Imagine battling life-endangering and treacherous conditions for the good of science. The celebrated rock climbing team led by Alex Honnold did just that for National Geographic Channel to help a scientist reach a remote Greenland ice cap to capture crucial climate data the science community desperately needs. And Alex obviously played a huge role making sure that their adventure was a success. I actually had the pleasure of speaking to Alex Honnold, world-renowned climber, about his latest docuseries and the role that he played in the story of Arctic Ascent. Take a look at this. Alex, it is such a pleasure to talk to you. I followed your journey when you free soloed El Capitan in Yosemite. And then I watched when the movie or the film won an Oscar, and that was super exciting. And now you are going on another adventure in Greenland. Why did you choose Greenland?
Well, I mean, I think as you see through the film, through the TV series, Greenland is home to some of the biggest unclimbed walls in the world, but it's also one of the most important places in the world in terms of climate change and sea level rise. And so it presented a unique opportunity to combine worthwhile science with an incredible adventure.
Wow. Okay. So this experience that you're bringing us on starting in February. It's not just your ascent, but it's also a look at the climate in which that you are participating in. Is that correct?
Yeah. The journey that we went on was actually pretty varied. We were in remote Eastern Greenland, in the middle of nowhere, and we spent 6 weeks traveling through the landscape, experiencing the landscape. We traversed this ice cap. We had this woman, Heidi Sylvester, who's a glaciologist with us, and she was executing experiments for universities all over the world. We launched this NASA probe along the way. So we were doing all kinds of different sorts of science experiments along the way. And so we did a few climbs that I was proud of, one sort of cutting edge climb and one sort of warm up climb, which actually turned out to be harder than we expected. Classic. Where it's worth a bit more than you bargained for. But basically it was this 6-week adventure in which we were able to do science all across Eastern Greenland and then still climb these walls that were pretty significant.
Was there anything in particular in this journey itself that maybe took you by surprise?
It was cold for sure. I mean, you see it in the show. We're climbing in just everything you own, but you still have to be barehanded on the rock, and so it's pretty chilly.
Yeah. And I know at one point too, a chunk of ice hits you, right? What was your reaction when that first occurred?
Oh, well, my reaction was oh, darn. It's kind of a classic scene because other members of the team were stressing about ice falling. And I was like, oh, what are you worried about? It's totally fine. And then within moments, I got hit in the face by ice and was bleeding. It was kind of oh, what a lapse of judgment. But,
yes.
But it's fine. I mean, that's kind of the nature of that kind of climbing.
I mean, your ability, though, to trust in your team. I mean, that has to be huge, right?
Yeah, though there were 2 other professional climbers on the trip with me, Mikey Schaefer and Hazel Finley, and the 2 of them have been friends for 15 years. I've climbed with them all over the world, and so I literally trust them with my life on many, many different occasions. And actually, the 3 of us together have been on several expeditions together in the past, and so we all explicitly trust each other. And then everyone else on the team, became good friends. I mean, 6 weeks together in a remote environment is a long time to really get to know people and really get to trust them. And everybody there is there because they're an expert in what they do, and they're the best. So
now to the science. This is exciting. Is this something that you have personal interest in, learning about, climate change and doing what you can to make sure that we're minimizing our impact?
Yeah, for sure. And actually, I have a foundation that I started over a decade ago, the Honnold Foundation, that supports solar projects around the world. And so I've always been interested in how humans can lessen their impact on the environment in whatever way. But I think with this particular trip in Greenland, it was just inspiring to me. I mean, I before this trip, I didn't know how much of an impact Greenland may have on the future world. Because basically the Greenland ice sheet is already melting, and if the Greenland ice sheet fully melts, that's something like 20 feet of sea level rise just built in. And that affects hundreds of millions of people that live on coasts around the world. And it's accelerating much more quickly than most people realize. The polar regions are warming much faster than the rest of the world. And so I think a trip like this is just a good opportunity to help educate people, to help show people what's happening in the remote parts of the world.
Okay, so this is great. I really like this project that you're doing, Alex, because I mean, it's not just about your climbing, it's also about, the environment in which you're climbing. And there's so many takeaways and lessons for our viewers. So how and when do they watch?
I think it comes out on February 4th on National Geographic. So 3-part TV series, watch on the 4th. for me, it was one of the best expeditions I've been on, and so I'm glad I think that the show does it justice.
Wonderful. Alex, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.